they've let more meetings since we have maxed out our bill for that spring.
Once we set the proposed rate, we started working on our operation. We calculate it all in our template. Then it comes in there and calculates the number of students you had, money you had, money your budget was last year, and that's what came up for our effective rate.
Okay.
You cannot tax it more than your effective rate. Now next year it may go back to $1.04. That's not a voter's rate. That's our flexibility, but I can't tax more than 99 this year. And the biggest cause is the values. That's the cause.
I thought that was it, but I just didn't know for sure that that was what was causing
And
it.
I don't know if that's in there as a check, the balance, checks and balance still.
That way to really, really hard to apply.
Either way, that's good news to the tax.
Certainly. I agree.
Oh, yeah, we're way below it, but it's not good.
Well, somebody had 98.7.
Yeah, but then they have on.
Then they had a bond, they were back up to keys.
I talked to Jack and there was $2.66.
With IMF.
And I was thinking.
We don't right now, well, this year. They did.
They were the only ones that was lower than us when I showed you. Now they're on.
I think you're doing this with you.
No, they I thought we did too, but when I was looking at it last year. That don't mean.
They had
Won't be
done.
another one.
There may be one of those things where they turn that around and pay it home. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Carry that money since debt was not really debt.
I didn't really, I wouldn't have guessed that. Because we had never, actually, I think the rest of getting older, though. We've always chosen to stay at the dollar.
Cut the budget as much as possible.
To stay at the dollar. Actually, this year, it was lower.
Yeah.
But I would expect some.
What was the percentage of the increase in the value?
Our budget, that's what we had a big discussion on last month, is how do we put that in paper to make that realize, because our budget actually went up 22%, but our operating only went up 1 point something. And the recapture.
Really only changed
That little bit.
the numbers right there, the actual change.
You gotta keep in mind too, that number is based on kids.
Good.
So,
He sings.
you can sit here with 10 kids this year, and they have 200. Well, that doesn't mean you go up 200%. It means you might go up 1% because it's based on kids. You get money per kid. So you have to be able to operate within the guidelines. So if you were getting $5,600 per kid with 10 kids, and then the next one you just get $500, $690, you only went up 1%. It's like a lot. But you have to go with it because everything's based on smart numbers. So
What we look at junior high and high school, right?
we're up from last year. Get around 6th graders. Saying numbers now, I can't say them like that. I used to.
Elementary was, even without 6th grade, probably working.
No, it is about right.
I didn't feel it.
We're just about there. I guess our clock's still right. It is. This time, I'll read the order. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to come together tonight and attend the business of the school district, Lord. Just pray that each and everything's done here would be in accordance to your will and the best interest of our students and our taxpayers of this district. Lord, we just ask you to go with us, forgive us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. This is a public hearing on proposed budget and tax rate. I'll let Cliff.
Okay, your second page there shows a little breakdown that we gave to you last month. Preliminary values came in at $391 million. Certified values came in at $358. We set a proposed rate of 104. Once we entered all our calculations in our template, the effective rate came out at 0.9999. That allows the school to generate at the effective rate at 98% collections, $3,511,000. We estimated school available funds to be at $88,000 and estimated foundation funds to be at $22,000. We estimate a recapture for 2012-13 to be $492,000. That the state estimate is higher than that. It's at 607. That is our estimate. That leaves our budget for this year at $3,795,379. And after we're done, we're ready to submit a balanced budget for this 2012-2013 school year.
That number was what you said?
It's $3,795,379. And I'll take any questions from the public.
Anybody have anything? Any of y'all have anything to ask them? Well, that's all we really need to do this month then. We'll bring them into the public hearing here on the proposed budget, and we'll go into our, we need to go, motion to adjourn from there, excuse me.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? This time we will call the regular scheduled meeting to order. We have anyone in open forum? No one in open forum. This time, turn it over to Mr. Gilmore for the administrative report.
Okay, I'll start with the elementary principal, Ms. Pitcock. You want to brief run the first day of school?
We had a great first day of school. We had a full house. Our cafeteria was full for breakfast, so the pre-K is meeting in their classroom first and then coming over to breakfast because we had more kids than we did seats. And so that worked out well. As soon as they shuffled out, then pre-K came in, and that worked real well. We had a meet the teacher night last Friday night, and that was very successful. We had a high turnout. It made things go a lot easier this morning whenever they showed up without their supplies. Most of them had already brought them and gotten settled into the classroom. So we had a great start.
Quick question.
Okay.
As far as like when I have some kids who go to cafeteria and some that go straight to their classroom. How early can we get those kids to the classroom? Like the pre-K?
Oh, the pre-K? Well, really.
Since they don't go to the cafeteria.
Yeah, since they don't go to the cafeteria, really, the teachers are not, they do not have to be on duty till 7:45.
Okay.
So really 7:45. I think she was early there today and, so,
Okay.
7:45.
Mr. Morrison?
Everything's going really well for us. Last week we had in-service. We got a lot of stuff going on last week that we don't normally have with trainings and things. I thought teachers really stepped up. They didn't have as much time in the classroom as they normally have. They got everything done, and of course, everything was ready to go today. The day went really well. We had a couple new kids that we don't normally have, so we had some new kids register. I was running like crazy, first day for me, so my feet are sore, but it should be that way, I think, if you're doing your job. So we got good things going on with the students right now. Both scrimmages have been real productive for our football team. Volleyball team they played in the gold bracket at Albany, first time since I've been here. So things are looking good already to start the year. I'm just real proud of my teachers and the things that we did to get ready for today. So, question?
Anybody have any questions?
I will add on to what Mr. Moore said. I thought last week went really well in the preparation. I thought, of course, we had a lot of new faces, a lot of new teachers. There was a sense of people really trying to do things right and get prepared. And there'd been a bunch of teachers up here many days before that, up here working. And so I was real proud of the way everything went. We had several lunches together and was able to have some fellowship. I think it started out good. I was real proud of the way the principals handled their situations, and so I thought everything went well last week and this week. I do have some things you can look at. First page is our enrollment. As of today, always a little bit sketchy. We'll have some really solid numbers for you next month. But looking at today versus last year at this time, which was a great year for us enrollment-wise, we're up 3 students from last year. So maintaining that, you know, those numbers are really critical to our financial, the financial end of running the school. So numbers are really important. So again, a little skewed there to what you're used to because 6th graders over in junior high now. So 257 was our official count. As far as activity goes, I've got you August and September there. Lots of football games and lots of volleyball games there. I won't go through each one of those, but I will tell you our first home game for football will be September the 7th. And then also our next school board meeting is scheduled for September the 17th. The rest of the activities are clearly marked there. That's really all I have as far as school goes. Any questions?
Any questions? This time then, I moved out of the floor consent agenda. Need to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Right there, it was the August 9th meeting, special meeting. What changes were made behind it?
I don't think.
Maybe some wording on dress code dues. We had one on pre-pants that was worded a little different. We just changed it to just the pre-pants regardless.
I don't think there's any in the elementary.
No,
Very little changes.
just the grade get to school at 7:30 for right, we changed that up to the door at 7:30. Added the grading
There was
policy.
something on the grading policy.
It was already in the
It was
board
in our,
policy.
it was in our policy, it just didn't in that handbook. Make got those, they brought them in line with each other. Anybody have any?
What's right here?
Is that a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All in favor? This time I would like to turn it over to Keith Moore.
Pays straight way down, $2,189. A lot of that was, paint and cement and the stuff we used this summer for painting around the school. Lots of, we had cement for, the scoreboards, I don't know how many gallons it was to put those pipes in. It's all that too.
Lots of paint stands and all
No,
that.
paint stands, post stands, scoreboard goals, just about everything we could see, try to think.
Motion to payroll and bill.
Second. All those in favor? Back over to Roy.
I broke down some things I thought were a little bit more important. All of them are important, but some that you might have some questions on and sent this home with you. If you got into something like that, maybe help explain some. Had two air conditioners go out, window units, one over in the, it had been out for about 6 months, one over in the field house, and then one over in the coach's office in the gym. Those were window units, and those two were purchased at $833.56. Mayfield paper, I talked to you in June about that was going to have a cleaner, a carpet cleaner, and we just got billed for that. It was $3,404.10. It's a real good one. They were really shaking with it for that. We were having to go rent a carpet cleaner up the store to come in here and do the carpets. I thought that was a waste of money. Spectrum, this is federal money that we get. I ordered chairs and tables. My intent for that was we had our distance learning lab that is going to be handling Spanish. I needed like 7 tables in there and chairs. These are good tables you see in all our classrooms now. And then my intent was also at some point during the year to try to put together additional elementary computer lab that we have computers. Remember, I got 25 computers from the prison, so I wanted all that to look nice. That is all federal money. We call it that particular one's called T5. That money has to be spent. AISD facilities assessment that you're aware of was $3,735. Terry Letts, this is one that a decision had to be made that the annex AC unit had to be replaced. That's out there in the band hall. I was given the option to replace the compressor for $1,500 with a 1-year warranty, or replace the unit for $2,500 with a 5-year warranty. And I chose to replace the whole unit. Terry Letts, labor for installing the scoreboard. The labor was $585. The parts, all the parts and stuff was $2,034.20. And the total was $2,619.20. Terry Letts, AC repair for elementary. This is one of the rooms. They had special motors was moved. We went ahead and bought 2 of them, and they were $773.40. Avid flooring, again, is one of the big bills that we're aware of. That was the repair to the gym floors, $4,180. Fraser concrete, that was the concrete we had poured from the concession stand to the stands, $11,400. Avid flooring, the finish of the gym floor, painting of the gym floor, and all the finish work goes there was $11,820. First National Bank, our final recapture payment was $48,010. Those are, again, I'll answer any of them on any of them, but those are the ones that seem to draw questions in my mind.
Motion second, all in favor? Thank you, guys. All right, this time we move to item number 5, approving the purchase program.
Over the last 5 years, y'all have it, the board has approved a employee purchase program to allow employees to purchase computers, laptops, iPads, and then allow them to pay the amount of their check throughout the year. This last year, we had 5 individuals take part in that. And it cost them $6,444. You have limited that to $1,500 each year per individual. And we would ask that if you would consider allowing the teachers to have that opportunity. Not a ton of people take that to a few of them. It helps them out, it doesn't hurt us, we get everybody back.
That's through the Dale program, correct?
Well, actually, Roland, it was originally Dale, but we have found some of these computers are Dale computers are even cheaper at other places than Dale. Sometimes you can get Dale computers at Sam's cheaper than you can get them at Dale. So I authorize those that they are technology type things that are integrated in computers, that kind of stuff. I thought it was a good thing.
I'll make a motion to keep it. All in favor? Item number 6, financial report and tax collection report.
Okay, you see your financial report there, right after the bills. Our total payments to Chapter 41s have been made, $326,903.85. Total, we're trying to wrap the year up. Again, all these numbers are the only real factual numbers you have there. Of course, our bills and payroll, and our operating account and our CDs. A lot of times, Chapter 41's right, but your estimated overpayments, you don't know what that is. And a lot of this stuff, we're just taking a guess of where we are until our auditor comes in November and finalizing everything, and TEA finalizes everything. But it looks like we're in real good shape to finish off the school year. And hopefully we'll get some recapture money refunded to us. That's what our hope is. I don't know how all that operates as far as refunds. All your CDs are listed there. They total $1,613,742.82. Fund balance is still at $1,998,275,000 as listed there. Your tax collections on the next page. We've reached our 100% goal. We were at 101.93. We budgeted $2,631,000. We collected $2,682,000. So we're in good shape there. If you look on the next page, you'll see this will be coming important. This information is important when we do our budget amendments. You'll see totally on page page 1 of our board report that at the bottom, this is the revenue side. The revenue side has collected $78,911.68 more than we budgeted. So we have that much more in the bank versus our budget. So we're at 102.52. And then if you go to the very end of the board report, you'll see that we have a balance in our original budget, not including the 78,000 of our original budget. We have a balance of $98,422.24. So we're in the good, $177,000 in our calculations for their budget. That's the budget part. That's not the state's sending us our money or that kind of stuff. But as far as our budget goes, we'll have some board budget amendments here in a little bit that they will say they will come from fund balance. But you have to remember they're coming from fund balance. We'll put way more into the fund balance. So it's just it's an easy way to understand where we get that money for some of these functions that go over a little bit, or I predict that they're going to go over. We don't want them to go over because of what we get written up for. So
That budget's already in the budget.
yeah,
It's just going to move from one function to another.
right. Basically, Keith, I can say one function to another. It's just a lot easier to say fund balance. Okay, because basically they're moving from one function to another. And that's where I'll go. If there's any questions on that information there, I'll go into this.
Does anybody have any questions on that before we move on to number 7, consider budget amendments?
Okay, these are the budget amendments. At the end of the year, we take our board report and I look at it and I try to determine how many more bills we're going to have coming in the next few days. How many bills are going to come in September that are for August? Electric bill, water bill, all those kinds of things. So I have to predict what all that is and try to make sure we have money in each of those functions. This is $199. This is the budget you guys approved. So starting out, we'll go to the first one is we had to have a line item for lunchroom charges that were not paid. So we had to do that first one there of $136. The other items, function 34, it says $199, 34. I need to put $7,000 in there. It was, again, I'm putting a little bit more than I really need, just to make sure. Function. $31. Function 34. Function 34 was over $4,566.36, and that's mainly due to having to pay for a certified bus driver in the second semester. I think we should put $7,000 in there just to be safe. Guidance counselor supplies and materials. Guidance counselors is function 31. We were over the guidance counselors $581.92, and that was materials, supplies and materials. And I said we put 2,000 in. For early retirement incentives, function 41. We were over about 18,000. I'll tell you exactly what we were. $14,592. I said let's put 25 in there just to be on the safe side. That's the early retirement incentive, and for the facilities assessment, we did not budget those items last year, and we went ahead and did them. So that's why that was over. For underestimating chapter 41, function 92, we came out last year and we thought chapter 41 was going to be $304,000. Made the budget, we said it like that, and then just a few days later they came in and made $327. So I could have done a budget amendment earlier, but I really want to make what was all done. We knew exactly what it was. So we got to put $22,000 in there. Electricity and water, function 51. 51 actually still has $14,000 in there, but I think we should put 25 in there, just to make sure we cover all the electricity and everything. Just don't want to go over. And food, to start the school, went ahead and put 6,000 in there, cover that, there. They did really good again. They have, they're under budget about $500 and some dollars. They did really good, but we need to put some money in there for food to start school.
What we should have one is coming up short in one of them.
Well, he'll come in and we'll get rid of, when we got money in the bank, it's there, but we need to spread it out amongst the functions. If not, we'll get rid of it. You can only go over $2,500. If we go over more than $2,500 in functioning, now it don't hurt us on our first report. We haven't never got, but he will bring that to our attention that we went over that. I think I've done a pretty good job. I could miss something. There's a bill that could come in that I'm not ready for, and he has the ability to assign it to August. If he believes that's an August bill, we used it in August, and we might have the thing that, well, we were going to pay for it in September, he could move that, and that could cause us to go. So it's not a full-fledged everything right, but it's been pretty close for us. Feel pretty good about it.
Does anyone have any questions on that budget amendments?
Just over the timer, we're gonna offer that again? Over the timer?
I think that's something for y'all to decide. I didn't budget that in there, Tim.
Okay, I just,
But it wasn't.
that
in last-
25,000 just to cover what we already spent?
Yes, we did it last year, but we didn't have any.
I didn't budget it to
Okay.
start the year off. I didn't budget it, but I went ahead and had to take it out of that function
Yeah.
and made it go over. Now, I was sitting here like this last year, didn't know whether we were going to offer it or not. And then we decided to do it, and I felt like we could absorb it in the long run, in the end. Just like some of the other things we do. You know, I said, well, I think we can do it and still be under budget. But you still have to take care of it at the end. You have to go in there and do your budget amendments to make sure your functions are not over.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
All in favor? Thank you. All right, at this point, item number 8, adopt the budget for 2012-13.
I'll be glad to do more explaining to you. Some of you wasn't here at the last meeting. We did go through page by page of this budget. I did send it home with you. I think we've got everything covered that we've done in the past. I did have to go in there and tweak this a little bit. I did move some money to some summer school. We'll have to offer a little bit of summer school next year with some of this new STAR testing. So I had to put some money in there to pay the teachers to do that. But not a lot of changes. I did move some money to function 36, academic travel. Moved $25,000 off that extra amount of money we had, and I wanted to talk to you about some academic trips for the students, possibly next month when I get a little more knowledge, get some information to you about that. But that's just there. It's not for us to use or anything. Those are only 2 changes made from my last time we sat here in the hall. You know, you try to go in there and look at stuff, but things come up, and you want to make sure everything's covered. But the budget is set as a balanced budget at $3,795,379.
Now I want to explain this tax rate to the ones that weren't here the other day.
Yes, the effective rate is going to be at $99.99. And the reason that we came in there in July, we got set a proposed tax rate of $1.04. That's what we always taxed at. But once we put the $1.04 in our template, and then came in there and put our all our other information, our numbers that we finished up the school year with, and the numbers we put in there is the number of kids we have, the number of kids we have in BOAG programs or home ag or computers that get weighted more, number of special ed kids, all of the stuff goes in there, and it takes our calculations of our collection rate, the money, and then it spits out what we can tax, the local people's called effective rate. And our effective rate came in lower, came in at $99.99. So we will be, we cannot tax above that this year. So it will be a break for the community, 4 cents. If next year our effective rate, it could go up, it could go back up to $1.04. That's not above. You don't need to go to public. We fluctuate in between there, and we move it to where we have to have it. Anything above $1.04, we'd have to have a vote. So we used to try to stay around there, and I was surprised it was, but it did come out at that, and that's what we have to. That's what we have to tax. So I think you're making, if everything was fine,
That's
you'd
our
make.
proposed tax rate.
You're going to have to adopt at 99.
We'll adopt it here.
A proposed, keep the proposed tax rate gives me a start. You're telling me, start at this point, go do all your figuring.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't lock ourselves into something and then not be able to get back out.
No, we're good.
Sorry, I didn't.
No problem.
When we approve this budget, we will be approving it to that dollar amount.
Yeah, you're going to have two motions.
Then we have to adopt, have a motion to adopt the tax rate. So, we don't have a choice.
Yeah, you got to adopt that. You can't do anything about that.
There's nothing else we can do. Does anybody else have any questions or comments on this item?
I move to approve the budget for 2012-2013 school year in the amount of $3,795,379 for the proposed tax rate of $99.99.
Second it.
All in favor? Okay. We need to have a motion to adopt that tax rate.
I move to adopt the tax rate of $0.9999 for $100 of evaluation.
I'll second.
All in favor? It's a good problem to have. This time we can move to item number 10 and approve the 2024.
I meant to have this on the August 9th. Once I sent it all out, posted it, I thought about it, it was too late. Did hire Misty High as a teacher on the 24th. She came in. We had noticed that we had maybe a little bit of problem with highly qualified areas in history. I hired a young lady, Miss Shelton. Everything looked real good, and we thought we'd get her certification in that area if she would test it. But I was going to have to hire an aide anyway to run the distance learning program, and I talked to Misty, and her certification met that need, and it sounded to me just as easy to offer that job to her. It's about a $12,000 difference. But I got a certified teacher, and I saw that highly qualified issue, and I went ahead and offered her that job. She was being offered a job as I was talking to her. And if I did not offer that job, I wouldn't pay her.
Well, if she was more qualified, why wouldn't she hire instead of Michelle?
She wasn't very qualified. She was a certified person that helped me with that area. She wasn't more qualified. I never said she was more qualified. She helped
you with the highly qualified.
Highly qualified is the federal guidelines for teachers in the classroom. They have to meet certain certification areas, and she did. She helped me with that area. I mean, I don't know how to explain to you. Miss Hibbets was teaching several grades there, 6th English. I had 6th English, 6th history, 7th history, 7th English, 8th history, 8th English. 6 classes that she was going to teach, Miss Hibbets. And I was going to hire an aide over here to do all these other ones. So what I decided to do was go ahead and hire Misty to split up those classes, 3 and 3, make them all highly qualified, because Miss Higgins was gonna be highly qualified in 5 of them, not that one.
But it also put her in the screen usher out.
Right.
Which I think is a great idea, instead of just putting an eight in there.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna talk about the teacher stuff, we're gonna have to go in a closed session. We can't talk about it. It's up to y'all. But I've offered a job and she's at work. She's been.
Well, is it normal to do this and then us approve it monthly?
No, it's not a norm. It's not normal. That's why I'm trying to write letters home and tell y'all and ask you to call me any questions or anything like that. I didn't receive any calls. Because I didn't want to talk about this in public meeting. Y'all want to go to closed session with you.
We did discuss that you might have to, though.
So you want, you'll need to.
You want to?
Whatever y'all think, that's all.
It's all on me. That's all on me. I've offered this girl a job. She's at work. You know, if the actions are of the superintendents or not, you're pleased, that's something y'all can deal with when that time comes. But that young lady didn't do anything else.
Well, no, I'm not saying she didn't, and this time I'll go with you, but I just think that's odd.
Yeah, it
We
is.
get the
When I've
job
got
and we have to approve it over a month later.
You bet that is odd. And I don't believe we've done it before.
We did it a month before you hired some people, and then we had to prove it after you hired.
Yeah.
We, under direction, we hired him, he's hired to run this school and make those decisions. Sometimes we want to micromanage everything. That comes under his, he makes a recommendation to do that, he needs to. We pretty well, we told him before, he said you might need to.
I think
we're
the hiring
handicapping
deal,
him to do his job, and that's.
the hiring deal
his
a lot of
job.
times gets into a political deal in the community about who to hire and who not to hire. I think where this comes from. I have to make a decision on where I have to go with it. I don't feel bad about it. I think it makes the right decision for the school.
Like you told us what you're going to have to do. Someone thinks we need to discuss it, we can go into closed session and we can entertain a motion.
No, that's fine, I just thought it was odd.
Exactly, I mean, let's all be on the same page, right now,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Well, that was one of the reasons I sent the letters home, trying to explain. On 2 occasions, I've sent them home, trying to explain it before we got to this point, and hopefully I can answer any questions if anybody calls.
I'll make the motion to approve the hiring of USD High on July the 24th.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Item number 11, consider new employee payroll advancement.
I had, this year, we had more employees, coming in new to the district than we've had in a long time. And a lot of these employees, were aides, first-year teachers, moving from other districts, with expenses. I called Cameron up and talked to him, last week. We talked about, this issue. He asked me, he thought it'd be best if I come to the board and ask you guys. But I wanted to see if you would approve, a advancement to them on September 1st of their paycheck. A lot of them come to work in August and they don't get paid till September the 25th. Many of them have moved and had the expenses of moving and those kinds of things. And it's something we've done in the past, but it was only when John Ray was here, and Cameron didn't like the way we went about and did it. He asked me, he said, if you're going to do it, this is the proper way to do it. The board approves it up to a certain amount. That if they say, well, let's say it was $1,500, and that's what I would recommend. They don't have to take it. They can take $500 or whatever one time, and then we split it out and divide it up about 12 months, deducted from their paycheck. That would be only on new employees to the school district. No other employees can't do that, anything else, because they're getting checks. But these new employees are not. And I think first-time employees, it would be a good thing to offer that then to them, because some of them are in need of that right now.
And that would come out of the next budget?
No,
Comes out.
Yes, September 1, this
It
new
comes-
budget, yes. We will not be off any, and if they, we'll write a little contract up with them, if they leave the district, say in the middle of the year, all that'll be taken out of their last paycheck. We won't be stuck with
I
it.
remember doing it, so.
We've done something like that.
How about if an employee was terminated and they had, say, they had like 4 months on their payout?
We would have to take every bit of it out. That's why I would want to limit it to about $1,500. You can make sure you get your money out of that. If you do any higher, you could get in trouble, and maybe you not have that much money left in there for that employee. So, to buy that out.
But some of them have been working up here, you know.
Yes, they've been working, yeah, they've been
Right.
working, some of them been working since August the 6th. They don't get a paycheck here until September 25th. That's a long time. I think it would be a good offer to the new employees. And I think $1,500 that you guys do would be good, and then some of them may not even want that, and they may not want the $500. It'd be up to them to make that decision.
Anybody have any?
I mean, I'm all for helping them. I don't want anyone to struggle when they first go in.
It is, I mean, even if some get, even if some was working at another district and they're getting paid, they had to move. And that moving is expensive. It takes a lot of money to move from one place to another. And that's where the ones that have been employed are at. And then the new ones, of course, are not, don't have any checking. Some of those aides, they're not making $13,000 just to start off with. I'm talking about very much money. So, I think it's something you know, I just think it'd be good, but that's strictly up to me.
Anybody? Pastor on feelings? Yes. I know we done something similar to that in the past, but like I say, someone's 2 months without a paycheck.
So why was it stopped in the past if we?
It was only,
I think as a need come up, there were several, you know, I think there's several that came to the attention.
as far as, nobody's, I mean, I've had several come to me this time, that's why I want to bring this, before, that was when I said we hadn't had a lot of turnover, we hadn't had anybody leave. So I really hadn't had that issue come up until now. I do think it's something you need to consider annually. I don't think it's something you want to put in place and just have it happen. I think it'd be something you want to talk about each year. It's just like the employee purchase program. It's really it's the same thing that you're extending some help to the teachers.
There's a need, I'm all for doing it. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Item number 12, recognize Small Business Development Center.
I wanted to make just a short public statement on for the Small Business Development Center. Program with the Small Business Development Center provides school supplies for Aspermont AISD students on both campuses to economically disadvantaged students. And that's basically students who qualify for the free and reduced lunch program. Aspermont AISD would like to recognize their efforts in providing materials for students in need. Just wanted to make that public that they did do that this year, and it was a good thing for our students that need the help getting their school supplies.
Thank you. Item Item number 13, discuss the 11-12 AYP report. Suppose we got.
Okay, you might have read some things, but really there's nothing in there, Roland. I'm gonna go over this with you. We didn't get a state accountability report this year because we don't even know the standards of passing yet. We won't even know those until January. But we did get a federal government AY adequately yearly progress report. And that they use the same standards that was set last year for passing. This is what the statement's going to say. August the 8th, 2012, TDA releases state's AYP results, adequately yearly progress. AYP is a federally mandated accountability tool to use to evaluate school districts and campuses. This evaluation is done annually and is based upon performance indicators in reading and mathematics. For high school campuses, a third indicator is used to evaluate graduation rate, and the elementary campuses, the third indicator is attendance rate. Aspermont ISD is proud to announce that the district and both campuses met AYP for the 2011-2012 performance indicators set by the state. Out of Region 14, 42 school districts in Region 14, Aspermont is one of only 17 to meet AYP. That is just an unbelievable accomplishments for our school district. For the 2012 through 2013 school year, the state is increasing the standard required of 87% of schools to pass assessment in reading and 87% pass in mathematics, and they'll move it to 93%. Next year will be 93% passing. So there was only 25% of the school districts in the state that passed those standards. It kept getting higher. We've talked about over the years how they kept getting higher, and we were still able to meet the standards. Next year, they'll be at 93% both in mathematics and reading. This year, our passing standard for our district in mathematics, let's see, was 93%, and our passing standard in English was 93%.
So we would have met the new.
We would have met the new one for this year. It will be hard. I'm going to tell you that that's extremely difficult to do. When you're talking about only 17 schools out of 42, a lot of the schools around us did not meet AYP. Now, what does that do? Nothing the first time. It doesn't really do anything. If you're on the good side of it, it makes you feel good that you're doing things right, but it doesn't do anything initially. By 2014, it's going to be 100%. Well, you can imagine how many schools are not going to pass that 100%. Just impossible. So I see a big change in the federal accountability standards as they are right now. I see that happening next year. But we need to do that, and that's our only accountability this year. Our only thing we've had to pursue. So both campuses and things that we do.
Anybody else have anything, questions for you? That was my question about the accountability, the ramifications.
First year, there's none federally. Second year, you'll go into some different things you have to do. Then it gets worse and worse and worse. But I think where we're at right now, I think if we didn't meet the 93 next year, let's say we were at 92. 92 was still doing real good, but it didn't meet the 93. I don't think it would do anything to us. And then I think it would all be changed the next year anyway, because there's no way. You can't have everybody failing. You got to have passers.
6% is a big jump.
Yeah. So I don't think it'll have any indication of anything on this.
This brings us to item 14. I'll make that motion.
You skip our class?
I didn't have a belt, I had a belt.
You did good? Did all right.
I'm running as fast as what I was running
Stayed on that
now.
fall, ready.
Fourth year, I'm gonna small,